Hi there. Assuming we all know that value investing is an active long term investing strategy in cheap stocks, according to some successful investors, we have to undertake 4 steps before we decide what stocks to buy. The first step is a change in our mindset. We have to think at our investment as if we buy the whole business that we understand and it is meaningful to us, and not as a collection of random stocks. Then we have to investigate if that business has a wide moat and a great management. And lastly, we have to decide what margin of safety we want to practice. In this video, we are going to discuss about the first step prior to value investing, which is how to find out what business we understand and it is meaningful to us. Many value investors start their research for cheap stocks doing a quantitative analysis of a company's fundamentals. Others take the value investing approach to another level, doing a qualitative analysis first, looking at each company as a whole and considering stocks to further investigation based on their understanding about that company. To find out what businesses we understand, we are going to use an adaptation of Jim Collins' hedgehog concept, which says that people can be divided in foxes and hedgehogs. The clever fox is forever coming up with new ways to attack the hedgehog, while the hedgehog always defends itself in the same effective way, by curling up into an untouchable ball of spikes. Good to great leaders, businesses, and in our case investors, are hedgehogs. They develop a simple concept in response to the facts of reality and pursue that concept vigorously with a singular focus. That flows from a deep understanding about the intersection of 3 circles, and we are going to do an example together. So, we draw 3 circles that intersect in the middle. We label the first circle passion, the second one talent, and the third one money. Now, we have to write down in the first circle everything we are seriously passionate about, the things we love to do or we would do if we had time or money. In the second circle, we write down everything we are talented at, everything we are really good at, whether in a professional or recreational sense. I randomly chose baking cakes, pies and breads, photography, playing with children, gardening, planning. And in the third circle, we write down everything that makes us money and we spend money on. As an example again, I wrote down teacher, going out, travel, technology. What we are looking for in the 3 circles is something that shows up in more than one circle, a word that points out to a product, an industry, or a certain business. Anything that is in 2 or in all 3 circles is something that we probably understand better than most of the rest of us. It is probably something that has meaning to us, which automatically makes it an industry worth researching. In our example, we can notice that food appears in all 3 circles, so we can investigate restaurant stocks to identify them, but we need to know how to find a certain industry. There is no master list of sectors and industries. Different data companies list them in different ways, but they all are relatively similar with the Global Industry Classification Standard, GICS for short, which is a 4-tiered hierarchical classification system developed in 1999 by MSCI and S&P Jones to capture the breadth, depth and evolution of industry sectors. As you can see in this picture, there are 11 sectors and each of them is made up of industries similar to one another, with a total of 24 industry groups, 69 industries and 158 sub-industries. But how to find out restaurant stocks? To do that, we are going to use a stock screener. There are many popular platforms, for example, Morningstar, TradingView, Old School Value, Finviz, Financial Times, Market Screener, and Yahoo Finance has also the stock screener option. Some of them are free, some others we have to pay a subscription to use them. For our example, we are going to use Finviz Stock Screener, which has around 8,000 stocks all over the world for free, but with a delay of 20 minutes comparing with the real time. Let's stay focused and keep in mind that our purpose now is to find out restaurant stock. I would also recommend searching only in the country where we live, because we don't want to select a business to find out later that it cannot be traded in our area. This is how Finviz looks like. We click on Screener and we can see many filters. At this point, we are interested only in descriptive to identify restaurants on the stock market. Let's say we live in USA. We take a look at the 11 sectors, and we should find restaurants in consumer cyclical. Yes, here it is. As we can see, when we click on a sector, all the industry categories come up, and we will be able to find any kind of business we are looking for just using common sense. Here we have a total of 50 companies, too many I would say to try to have a look at each of them. So we need some other filters to narrow down the result. Personally, I would choose the market cap filter, knowing as a general rule that growth rates tend to slow as businesses get bigger. It is much easier for a 1 billion company to double in value than it is for a 1 trillion company. After a sustained period of growth, a small cap stock can grow into a mid cap stock or even a large cap stock if the business performs exceptionally well. For instance, Etsy was a small cap stock as recently as 2017. Now it's worth 14 billion and has entered to S&P 500. By selecting small cap, we end up with 10 businesses on the stock market, and in future videos we will deepen our analysis to see which one of them would be the best investment after we investigate the moat and the management. As a takeaway from this video, we can say that prior to value investing, we have to find a business that we understand and it is meaningful to us. We do that by using the hedgehog concept, drawing 3 circles that intersect in the middle and writing in them what our passions are, what we are good at, and how we earn and spend our money. If the same word, product, or industry pops out in 2 or 3 circles, we use a stock screener to find out what businesses are on the stock market in that field, and if there are too many, we narrow down the number of the results in a subjective manner, adding filters that we consider helpful to find a company that we understand and has meaning to us. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, and see you in a couple of weeks with a video about what experts think about value investing, whether it's still working or if it's not relevant anymore. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned.